Hello. You can do that. Swap glasses. Like
Do you have performance glasses?
reading ones. Like Superman. Hi everyone. Oh, like a baby mic. It's Dr. Seuss's birthday, isn't it, today? That was in the pre-match social. So I've got one of his to warm us all up, and it's about birthdays. If you didn't have birthdays, you wouldn't be you. If you'd never been born, then, well, what would you do? If you'd never been born, then, well, what would you be? You might be a fish or a toad or in a tree. You might be a doorknob or 3 baked potatoes. You might be a bag full of hard green tomatoes, I guess. Or worse than all that, why, you might be a wasn't. A wasn't has no fun at all. No, he doesn't. A wasn't just isn't. He isn't present. But you are you. Now, isn't that pleasant? Happy birthday, Dr. Seuss. I'm really excited to be here, and I've written a poem especially for today's occasion.
Make an effort.
Yeah, exactly. Make a bit of an effort, and it's all about this bit of football Saturdays. It's all about the buzz. It's the you coming with us, and where should we meet, even though it's always the same place as last week. Treat yourself to a pre-game pie. Just don't question the meat. Wash it down with 1 or 2, arguing over who should play, manifesting your team of dreams, checking in on fantasy leagues, break to laugh at that guy's new hair. Notice a new coat on someone who suddenly has a few quid to spare, hearts on sleeves in the shape of islands of stone, and there's always that one who loves to moan. We get ready to rile the tiny temper of the opposition's defender. We bring the scarves out, we chat positions, and we hope the ref doesn't get his cards out. We're praying it won't rain, or at least not enough to stop play again. It's routines of hope, surrounded by faces you know, even if you've never spoke. It's sussing out interlopers. It's knowing nods as you take seats. It's the moments between belief in the team and the whistle blowing. That's when there's no controlling over what happens next, but no matter what the score, the pre-match buzz will always bring you back for more. Thank you. Thank you. So my next poem is based on Manchester. I was driving through Manchester late one night and I saw all the lovely lights that are up in all of these office blocks and ever-growing stories of the flats. And I wrote a tweet that said something along the lines of, I was driving through Manchester tonight and I saw all these lights and I wondered what's going on behind all of those windows. And I thought that might make a good poem, but I'm too tired, so here's a bad tweet instead. A couple of months later, I came back to that tweet and I expanded into this poem, and this is it. Each window above holds within its own world. Lives unfurl behind each one. Behind one window, a story has just begun, but across the road, 5 floors up, what's done is done. They've moved on up. They've moved on out. It's time to break free. They've seen the light and it never goes out. In the penthouse, this big shot sits with self-doubt. But in the studio, miles below, a kid rules nothing out. A head that whirls with ambition as tall as that tower that they live in. Across the road in an office block, a deal gets done by a dad who misses the first words of his son. That moment passed as he chose to sit behind glass, while those on the streets below don't know how they don't get their own window to look out of, only ever looking in this town that they know better than their own skin. As smells drift down from a meal being cooked by a group of friends who don't know that one of them is writing a book. that could change the world, even if it is only theirs. Up a few more flights of stairs is a tourist, tick-tocking, a big shopping spree. YOLO, you know what will Airbnb. Next door, stay in just to catch up with TV. One window stands out in this sea of light, shutters down after a fight on a night out gone wrong, head still sore. He said it before, but this time he means it. This is the time he'll finally quit. While across the town, there are students, singing and ignoring that their phones are ringing as they laugh at texts from regrettable exes, as they get ready to go out and burn candles at both ends, while a friend in a different halls is just burning incense, trying to make sense of it all. Behind more than one window sits grief, heavy with the reality that even the fullest of life is too brief. Behind each window sits within a world that will stop. There is no top, just levels, and all we'll get to leave behind is a bunch of stories and those ever-growing stories. Thank you. So this is one for anybody who likes singing. And you might like singing in your car, especially. That's where I like to sing. And I don't know about you, but I used to get embarrassed if I got caught singing in a traffic jam, especially if I got caught by a busload of rowdy away fans. But now I've started to realise that one day we will all just be dust. And now their laughter has left me nonplussed. I no longer look away quiet. Quite the opposite. I let my imagination run riot. From steering wheel to record deal, I see my name in bright lights. Only when I'm driving do I feel this free. Tonight I'm gonna sing behind the wheel. You've got a better musical act coming up, I'm not that. But I get into my groove, even if my car barely moves. So now, if I see a sideways glance / stare, I'm just gonna let them keep looking, because I'm having so much fun, I couldn't even care. Thank you. So this is me going back in time. I grew up just outside Wrexham, and I used to go to this club called the TIV, and it was in the 90s, and it was when it felt like the pages of the NME had come to life. Every Wednesday we get a band like Catatonia, the Stereophonics, the Super Furry Animals, Shed 7, Dodgy, Shed 7 again. But it was a great club and a great time, and this is a poem about that time. I used to dance at the TIV every Wednesday night with the indie kids, but a can of Red Stripe would last me all night. I wasn't there to get loaded. I was there to dance to Primal Scream in a haze of dry ice and nicotine that I didn't even smoke. Not even when it was offered by that older bloke from that band, because I presume, well, that must have been a joke. I was the kind of girl who'd light the filter, naive and completely bewildered. I wasn't one of those kids who were cool. I loved to dance, but I was scared of breaking rules. I'd get home with change from a tenner, still not having made eye contact with that one fella. I hid from him in plain sight with the boys who like girls and the girls who like boys. Always should be someone you really love. I'd sing it practically into his face. I dropped the hint, but I didn't like to chase. And he preferred his mates and the girl in the real Doc Martens. Me, in my Dulce's face, just looked on, disheartened. Love lost its allure, but not one bit like the dance floor of the TIV. That's the one place I know I truly lived. Thank you. And now I'm a bit older, I get worried about how much longer I can go down to the front of a gig. So this is a poem like about that. Hands in the air forever. A picture of me giving a damn, I said never. Don't sit down next to me unless James are playing, not even in the circle of the Apollo. In fact, especially in the circle of the Apollo. I want to bounce in mosh pits until my knees say no, because I have faith that one day there'll be no more dancing as my years just keep on advancing. So whilst I can, I will flail my limbs to beats, memories made with the receipts of the times I was down the front, being lifted over crash barriers before fainting, keeping moving even when my feet were aching. In gigs and clubs we'd sweat, in festival fields get soaking wet. Pre-internet, with internet, no regrets. There's no regrets in any of the dances. I want to be like ABBA. And know I took all the chances on me. Thank you. And I'm going to do two more. This one's about being on my phone too much. I spend a lot of time on my phone, and yeah, this is dedicated to my algorithm. My algorithm and I don't always see eye to eye. It uses my location and my age to semi-accurately gauge how I might want to spend my wage. It insists I click, and I must do it quick. There's only one item left. 3 other people are viewing this item. Sneaky tricks that have me frightened, tensions heightened. Sometimes it tries to find out what's up my street by reading my tweets, making suggestions that call into question how they use their data. Less an innovator, more of a twisted instigator. It follows me around and it tries to compound my very worst traits. I see how it operates because I'm not that dim, despite what it thinks, that sneaky, snide little algorithm. Thank you. And I'm going to leave you with this one. It's a personal one. It's a bit of a confessional piece, but you've come to know me over the last couple of minutes, so I think you're ready. It's been 7 days since my last Dorito. The toxic orange residue has almost left my fingertips, and the salt levels in my bloodstream are simply high, not stratospheric. I keep seeing triangles where I have never noticed them before. They're on the ridges of my house keys. They're on the microwave buttons at work. The shape of comfort is haunting me. Toblerones trigger me. But not the grab bags, because you can't get those and put your hand in and shove several of them into your face in one go. If they were to wrap each Dorito though. But they've probably heard that the planet's burning just like their chili ones, so they don't do that. They just know how to lure me in. But a lot can change in 7 days. It's like Craig David said, isn't it? So I put the bag in the bin on Tuesday. I walked past the Chris File on Wednesday. And on Thursday and Friday and Saturday, even managed Sunday. I ate my last one last Monday. It's been 7 days since my last Dorito, and I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you. That's me. Thank you so much. having me. It's been an absolute